can tell him must come take him out of your house. Because you mustn't do it. You mustn't do something like that. The man is a sober man, nothing wrong. Therefore, yeah? So you not lose an opportunity right now, you know. Because him a year, maybe make sure to turn on the phone. I'm sorry for telling you about I just saw it at work and I don't want a problem near me. So if you come here to make problem, see road. No, me not joke to you know.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Avree, but you may call me ReeRee. Today I will be discussing how building on family land can attract grudgeful enemies, and you need to be extremely careful where you situate yourself. Now in this video I will also be focusing on one particular individual who in my opinion really was or is the ringleader. Not to say that the persons who were doing the wrongdoings were not guilty, but he definitely instigated the whole thing, and you'll explain as the video progresses. You will understand, you'll understand as I explain as the video progresses. No, I must say that building on family land can be a positive thing. Mainly, it can help to create or generate generational wealth within a family, as if you are able to get that head start in life as opposed to paying rent or going and taking out a mortgage to purchase a piece of land and then going out and taking out another mortgage to build on the land, etc., whatever the case is. Building on family land is a means of basically eradicating certain kinds of debts. As you know, a house, land, property can be assets, and so if you're able to build on family land, you have definitely overcome half of the struggle as it relates to purchasing land, and then you can go ahead and put a structure on the property, whether it be concrete, board, wood, whatever the case is. So building on family land is not a bad thing in all cases. However, in my case it was definitely horrible. No, as I explained before in my previous videos, my spouse and I built on land that was given to him by his own. It was an agreement. And why this became so negative is that the people who, well, the members of the family, they were definitely wicked and evil, and they sought out to destroy us. They sought out to tear us down, and that is the reason why it is negative or it didn't work out for us, because we were just in the wrong space around the wrong people. Now, can you imagine them wanting to take the property or the house that we built on the place after we spent so much money, so much hard work, etc.? Now, when I say building on family land will attract enemies, this is what I mean. Alright, so you have to be mindful of the people that you go around when you decide to build on family land. You have to be mindful of your neighbors. It is a case where you're getting a property for yourself in the woods and there's nobody there and it's just to you. That's different. But if you're building on a property where you have close neighbors, or you're sharing a yard, or you're sharing a building, you have this room or you have that space and they have that space, you have to be mindful that you are going around a group of people who have already been socialized already. They've already gone through a socialization process, meaning they have their own set of belief systems that they adhere to. So they have their own culture. So for example, some people have a culture to help one another. Some people have been socialized to be Christian minded, for example. But in my spouse's family's case, that was not what was happening. In my honest opinion, I believe that their whole mental system is based off of evil. I do not believe they are God-fearing people at all. No, in my spouse's family case, I definitely believe that their belief system, majority of the family members, I believe, their belief system, I believe, is rooted in wickedness, evil, backbiting, tail-bearing, hypocrisy. You understand? All these kinds of things is what they were socialized in. That's their belief system. And so by moving into that type of environment, that type of toxic environment, we opened up ourselves and we exposed ourselves to different kinds of spiritual attacks. You understand? So you have to be mindful where you go. That's why lots of people go and they live uptown, or they live in gated communities, or they purchase the land that is free from or far away from disturbances. it is very important to know where you're living and the environment that you move into. You don't want to go somewhere that is toxic. And like I said, because that was the mentality of the people, naturally we attracted enemies. If you are building a house to make yourself comfortable, that is a form of growth that they did not welcome. And so, by being in that space, I realized good and evil cannot dwell in the same place. And so, I'm telling you, you have to be very mindful where you live, very mindful where you decide to dwell, very mindful where you invest your money. Be careful, because if you're a clean hearted, positive minded, good energy person, you cannot situate yourself amongst people who are the opposite of you. It will not work out. People who are drunkards, people who are talebearers, people who tell lies, people who are just naturally nosy, people who do not mind their business, people who have nowhere going in life, people who don't have ambition. Do not put yourself there, because your light will not agree with their darkness. It's not going to work out, and more than likely you will be the one who are uncomfortable, because you are the one in a space that you're not used to. You're in a different environment. They have been in that environment already. Remember, we're talking about family land now, so that has been their generation from generation, that type of dirty, nasty lifestyle. That's what they've been doing all these years. And so you going there, you're not used to it, and you're not going to be able to cope, which is exactly what happened to me. So I warn you, be mindful. So like I said, I'll be focusing on one particular individual in this video, and I'll tell you how you can attract really grudgeful enemies. You have to be careful. So how did we get here? Like I mentioned before in previous videos, my spouse made an arrangement with a family member of his to renovate the house and take it as his own. We did it, and less than 3 months they wanted it back, and of course, naturally, they were unwilling to pay us back. Problems. So what motivated them to try to cheat us? Well, naturally, if a root is evil, naturally the fruit that the root produces will also be evil. So what is the fruit from their tree? What is the fruit of their works? No, their fruit is conmanship, bad mind, evil, and natural iniquity. And so that is what motivated them to steal or to try to take what is ours, because they do not like growth. Like I said before, they don't like to see people comfortable. They don't like to see people happy. And so by being in that space, they don't know any better. Well, maybe they know better but can't do better. But their nature is naturally bad mind, hypocrite, news carrying, working iniquity, all of those things. And so it's just evil. And so by putting ourselves among them, remember I said family land, putting ourselves among them, we attracted enemies to us, because we're not moving like them, we're not behaving like them, we're not thinking like them. So in my humble opinion, my spouse and I are very quiet people by nature. We mind our own business. We are driven to become the best version of ourselves. We want to enjoy the simple things in life. We want a peaceful life. We're ambitious. We work hard. We mind our own business. We keep to ourselves. We're not into any cascas with people. And unfortunately, they don't like that. Our desire to seek out self-improvement and stability was too much for them. They didn't like that. Our light was too bright for them, and we did. They don't deserve to. They don't deserve our presence, really and truly. But our light was definitely too bright for them. We were just too good for them. We are just too good for them, because they are not used to people just being normal people. They're used to mix up, blend up, backbiting, character bring down, lies, cheating, iniquity, like I said. And so the ambition within us is what just made them go crazy, and they naturally just wanted to take what we had. They wanted to ruin us. And we're not no big shot nothing in the moment. We're still building ourselves. But like I said, when you put yourself in the wrong environment, remember, oil does not mix with water, goodness does not mix with evil. And so we did a wrong thing by going amongst wicked people. And at the time, I suspected it, but family is family. I guess my spouse did not suspect the type of wickedness that would have come to him as an attack from his own flesh and blood. And in the beginning, they hid it for a while, but after a while, they just could not hold it any longer. There was this one particular individual who, from the very beginning of construction, he would just be so obsessed with us. He would be so Jamaicans would say like him takes it from the beginning. and I observed that he was almost like obsessed with me, my spouse, and the property and the whole construction process. It's like he was always been like a fly on the wall. He was always like a spy, just a watch out constantly, constantly. I believe that the quality of work that we did on the property exceeded his expectation of what we were going to do. So, in other words, we fixed the building too nice, too good, and he definitely did not like it. And I think that he felt like we were too comfortable. The building was fixed too good, and he didn't like it. He was obsessed and upset, and he would constantly spy on us, watch us, peep, and it was very uncomfortable. At first, it was like, okay, he's a weirdo, but gradually, he was definitely evolving into a terrible green-eyed monster. So the first thing he did that made us realize that this man is truthfully a demon spawn is this. He would constantly stay in tune with every step of the construction process and mask his wickedness as support. He would pretend that he's in, like, oh yeah man, a good work this and I love the work and so and so. That's how he would act, pretend. He would always brag to my husband about how much land he had or has and how many people he gave permission to live on the land, and that other persons who live on the land, they have to answer to him because of whatever. So he was basically flexing his muscles as it regards to land. Like, this is mine, that is mine, him live this to me, give him permission. That's, he would brag to my husband about these things. It is important to note that this man allegedly has a history of illegally confiscating people's lands and properties, and the people that he does this to are people who are not fully aware or completely unaware of their rights as regards to having lands or owning lands. Just recently, allegedly, it was said that he was kicked off a piece of property that he was trying to quote unquote take over. So he is obsessed with land. You understand? Like many Jamaicans are. But this one was a little bit too obsessed, too much, too greedy, too gluttonous for land. So overall, you can see he's a dirty coat, in no good ways, right? That is his tendency. Love people things, like people things, gluttonous over people things, grudgeful over people things, especially land and house. The next thing with him, I noticed he had the wildest eyes and he had a pungent demonic spirit around him. Now, if anybody is spiritual enough, they will understand what I'm saying. His vibe, his aura was very dark, and if you even just walked beside him, if you even said hello to him, if you were even in the same space as him, his energy was so negative you could feel it. I used to get sometimes chills just by even seeing him. I was just my whole aura. It was just, I don't know, like it's like when you put bleach in dirty water, except that the reverse. So you have clean water and he would be dirty water, and your whole space, if he comes into your environment, he would pollute your environment with his filthy spirit. Literally, that's how I felt. Another thing, no, and I'm telling you all the things that were red flags for me, all the while still observing that he's paying too much attention to us. He's given us too much attention, and it made us very uncomfortable. But like I said, it was gradual. It was a gradual observation, but the man was off from day one. No, another thing he did was this. My husband loved fruits, and like I said, on the property, the whole environment, the entire surrounding are family, right? Family live. So next door is family, next door is family. Cousins, first cousins, you name it. Second cousins, whatever. So next door is another relative to my spouse, and there is, I think, a sweet sap or sour sap tree. The same man who would always brag to my husband, but I have this land, I have that land. The same man who was just somewhat seemingly obsessed with us. This is what I'm thinking at the time now, which I know now to be true. He asked his relative and neighbor next door for sour sap, and he said, yeah man, you can pick. So one day, my husband was there and he saw him and he's like, oh, so and so said I could pick this, and he's like, oh, I am the one who control the place and you have to ask me permission, but yeah man, you could go ahead, pick as much as you want. Remember, it's not his place. Him live further down, find himself on the people in land, and going to give my husband permission to pick something that is not on his place, right? Anyway, see how far I'm reach? Pick what you want, pick as many as you want, so and so and so. Anyway, my husband picked about maybe 4. The man said, no, 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 you can't pick no more, you can't pick no. Him can't even pretend to be kind. Can't do it. Wicked, gluttonous, greedy, evil, bad mind. Remember, you live round this, so. We are there, so. Right? But I looked at these things and I said to myself, something not right. He's really off. And why is it that every time we're outside, we walk up in you? What is this about? I mean, you tell somebody to pick, you man pick as many as you want, and within the same breath, you not take 2 breaths yet. By the time you pick 2, 3, no pick no more. Something is not right. Another thing again he would do. We observed that he would get up very early in the mornings, 5 a.m. and so forth, and he would lurk in our yard very early. And sometimes you would catch him staring at the building. Yes, staring at the building. And like I said, he had very wild eyes. He looked very tormented. He looked very uncomfortable in his own skin. And the expression that I would say, if I had to describe his expression, I would say it would look like disbelief. So it would be like him can't believe say the house fix up the way it fix up, and him can't believe say our sons are living nice and I don't like it and I want it for myself and what me can do now to take what is from them. That is how I read his expression. And I'm not talking about 1 time nor 2 times nor 3. Many mornings we would catch him lurking in the yard. One morning we even found him using a stone and a piece of steel and putting fake boundary pegs on the property. Mind you, he's not a surveyor. I don't know if he works with a land agency. I don't know him to be a lawyer nor anybody of authority. And the man good come into the yard with a stone and a steel and a dig down peg. And when we caught him, the man ran behind a bush and bent down flat on him gut. As if to say we couldn't see him. We caught him red-handed. But he was literally like a tormented soul that was given a lot of trouble. And every observation I was spot on, because as I progress, you will find out what he did. This man went as far as allegedly, this man went as far as to go and tell people that the house that we built, that we invested our money in, was for rent. We were in the yard. My husband was in the front yard one day, and a lady came by and asked him, how much is the rent? And when can she move in? Because she heard it is for rent. It is renting. Yes. And this is why the man was steadfast, hell-bent on doing the deal that my husband had with his relative regarding the house. Right? That is the type of behavior the man had. The man was obsessed, bad mind, grudgeful, green-eyed, dirty, terrible, and borderline workless too, because you not have time, you not have pitney and grandpitney for look about her. The man fully obsessed. The man was the main instigator. He was always lurking, always spying, always plotting, always trying to give trouble. He was the one who influenced all these people, always hiding and peeping, truly evil and fully bad mind. That man wanted to steal the very lives that me and my spouse built for ourselves. He was obsessed with the whole procedure, the construction, the settling down, the moving in, bringing in the furniture, the everything. And how was he able to influence the other relatives to do this? Very easy. They all had the wicked, evil mindset. But because he was the one who come out and said, come, we could do this, they always said, okay, well, at least we don't have to hide it, because if not hide film wickedness, so let's just come out strong with our wickedness and just do evil. And that's how they all joined in on the whole evil plot to take away what we have. A whole lot of them are truly wicked, evil, and bad minds. So it wasn't difficult for them to agree to do what he wanted them to do. Now, when I think about his behavior, there's a Bible scripture that comes to mind that I have always known, and it has always kept me grounded and disciplined not to give trouble, not to do foul work. And this is the scripture. Proverbs 6 verses 16 to 19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among his brethren. He that soweth discord among his brethren. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Amen. You understand me? The main one. A heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among his brethren. The man naturally no like peace. The man no want to see nobody live comfortable. The man no alright. The man get up and instigate everything. The man decides me want mash up for them life, but guess what? Who is for you? When the Lord is for you, it doesn't matter what man does. Who God bless, no man curse. No weapon that formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us in judgment, they shall be condemned. Right? Listen to the man's behavior. This is when the man could not take it any longer. This is when he could not pretend any longer. This is when he decided that, look here, I'm going to say leg on my belly and anything. Right? Take a listen to the video.
Why? Why don't I do that? Eh? See, God, phone, eh? So, you are losing an opportunity right now, you know. Because in my ear, maybe make sure to turn on the phone. I'm sorry for telling you, but I just saw it at work and I don't want a problem near me. So if you come here to make problem, see road. No, me not joke thing, you know.
Jermaine, Jermaine,
The man was sober, alright. And I don't hear no argument, I do. So now you me hear a cuss bad than I jump up, you know. You.
be careful what you
I
point
want
at
to
me.
behave on yourself.
Don't point at me.
I don't let me tell you again either, you know.
Are you threatening me in front of the officer?
See,
Are you threatening me in front of the officer?
Threatening football.
Officer, you see this?
We say you must behave on yourself.
Are you threatening me in front of the officer?
You hear what I say, sir?
Interesting.
You don't leave the man alone here, man. And me go call God and tell him must come take him out of here. Because you mustn't do it. You must do something like that. The man is a sober man, nothing wrong. And you me here jump up and cuss your body and behave like a hooligan. You're not supposed to come here and do that. This place is a family place. We just have cry with peace and make you behave on yourself.
Now, after doing all of this, after giving all this trouble, after masterminding this and that, because remember, he is one of the main persons who used to influence and puppeteer the drunkard that lived next to us to play loud music, to do this and to do that. And when all else failed, the man decided to Lego and belly and whatsoever, right? Now, after doing all of that, listen to this now. This is what the man do. He did something so low, so dirty, so bad mind, so wicked, so evil, so out of order. Now if you listen to the video, you hear the man lie? Man say him don't want no trouble next to him or no trouble near him or whatever him say. The man say what this and the man say what that and the man say everything acid and cow fat. Right? Make me tell you what the man go do. One day, we were home, me and my husband, right? I noticed when the toaster oven plug in, light gone. When the machine turn on, light gone. I say, nobody turn on the TV, my love. So something not right. When I look out the door, everybody else have lights, me not have none. Remember, I know man say no one have trouble next to him, which one live next to him, one house in between we and him. Fine. I said, something is wrong. A mind said, look through the window. No. If you're a Jamaican, if you know, you know. I took a little peep through the window where our wires are. If you know, you know. When me look at the man, me see a fishy round my wires. And I say nothing. I go and observe. Just back up my phone. And I said, this never. I laughing now, come here, I said, could never. It could never be what I'm thinking. The man, woman call him on the phone. What sound like him, woman? Here, it fixed yet? Him say, no, no. I mean, I said nothing. I left it. Because you see me, I drinketh my soup when it is cold. I like to observe. What I know, you may never know what I know because I don't speak. Worse the people been like. Okay. I realized that I naturally not have no good current. Something wrong with my current. Something right. I said, alright. Anyway. It was raining. Sun come out. Certain things start work, but not everything. I observed for 2 more days. So I didn't say nothing. We went out into the town and it so happened that we drove past him. Now remember I told you he has evil eyes, wicked eyes, wild eyes. Him eye them red like blood. And I don't know if him smoke weed. It's not the kind that you get from smoking. It's more like like scary movie evil. Like when you watch a horror movie and their eyes are like a little more red than usual. And it has a lot of veins in the eyeball. And it is scary. And it's always wide open. Like, you know, when people say them tear out your eye, if you hear them have a permanent wide eye tear out type of open situation. We drive past him and him kin off him teeth them, him ugly teeth them, him demon teeth them, and came out in me as usual, and I laugh and I blow away. I say, oh, you're there for my wire for sure. Because you go for my wire what dear, and I used to say, I see you, and I say, I see you. Now remember the man said the one a trouble next to him. The man said, we have a problem. The man said, everything acid and cow fat. So as to say, that proves my point when I tell you he is envious, he is grudgeful, he's a bad mind. Remember the man, remember in 2023, man, I forget, the man go up on him phone, brawling, call him for call a friend and say, see the road there, I'm not an opportunity there now, I'm not trouble next to me, this is a family house, I don't want to side of me. Then if you know why we side of we, if you know why we side of you, why you do pa my wire? Or you find yourself way down this so and you track where from where run a fear part, run a one part, run this so. Come all the way run away. And you say we are trouble. You say a demon possessed. You say you want look but. You say you want olive oil. You say you want anointed olive oil. You say you need the whole book of Psalms. You say you need a strong, powerful pastor. You say you need a congregation. You say you want prayer warrior. You say you want Jesus. Where's this so? Move now. Must say, I never do a thing more than we sent for help from an electrician. Right? For sure, I'm serious, you know. We sent for help from an electrician and he confirmed as such by checking the wires. We had low voltage. And we have things in our house. We have appliances in our house. We have things that can mash up. And the man not here. And at this part, you know, you see the post? I side away. See the post here, see my wire, and the man bypassed the post less than 1 foot away from the wife to say, you know, say some people just don't like see people live. Some people don't like see people comfortable. Why you go up with something? Anyway, the electrician checked and saw the problem. In fact, it was the electrician. Me know already, you know, but me like people for catch wise. So the electrician did us a favor. The electrician is also a family friend who knows everybody and everything. And what he did was to track the wire, which I already knew, but you don't know. I want him to see himself say that one. He tracked the wires. And when he tracked the wires, was it 2 wire touch on? I would track the wire there, and the wire go round a one part. Him think him smart to them, carry it round a one part and carry it round. You see much work him do? To go up on my things. You don't like me, sir. But I like you don't like me. You're obsessed with me. I'm my husband. And the piece of sitting, we will fix up for on ReeRee. Don't do it. And funny enough, you know what I do? Me personally cut it off. Yeah. Listen. Personally, me, you see, so I cut it off because I tell you, when you live on family land, when you live in an environment close to certain kinds of people, you will attract grudgeful enemies. So all the man a beat off him dirty gum, all the man a yap yap do to did and call fire and call yes and call bad and in bad mind. He wanted what we have. Still want it. Still go on X-ray, still a fight two fight. Remember saying no, there's a saying, a lady, may her soul rest in peace, Miss Joyce. She used to teach when I was very young. I have been having issues with people all my life. Periods, everything. People said, a lot of people in the comments, you're a chosen one, so and so. I personally cannot confirm nor deny, but I just try to do the right thing in life. I'm not a people's person because I could read people like that. And she would tell me this. For all the people who are giving you a hard time, look at them. They're much older than you. She would say, I come here and come out of the gully and I dung them and go dung in the gully. Sometimes I feel like they're motivated to do this evil by the fact that they are getting older and they feel like they're closer to their grave, and so they cannot bear the thought of them being in their grave and my husband and I are living comfortably at that. They are concerned that when they die, we will live comfortably. They're concerned that they're going to die. And so they tell themselves that they must create as much mischief as possible on this earth. But like I said, I pray and I trust God and I believe God and I allow God to shine his light through me. And like I said, I don't believe in revenge. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I shall repay. Because I said to you, what God can do to man, you and me can't think about it because God is powerful and almighty. There's nothing you can do to a person that has harmed you that God cannot fix better than you. It is better to keep your hands clean and allow God to take his course. Allow God's course to take over, because they don't have to do anything to people because they have already done it to themselves. I have a saying that I tell myself all the time and anybody around me. I leave people to themselves, and Father God will deal with human on a time field. That's what the man did to us. We could have lost our appliances. You hear me, I tell you? Now, remember I told you it is a family place. Mostly family live on the properties close by, so and so and so. The place is populated by mostly family. Nice. And so when this happened, it would have seemed like it was a talk of the town briefly because, for somebody who is, he acts like he's this and he acts like he's that, nobody would have expected him to go and do something so desperate. Is it a case where, the money can't pay your bills, so you have to go touch on one, something, and make up on something? Or is it a case where you just naturally wanted to siphon the electricity off of our wires to damage our appliances? Maybe him just tormented and love to give trouble. It's the only access he would have to us because he definitely can't access the house, I know that much. And if him do it, him know that go already. So it's like it's the only piece of us that he could take for himself, something that he said he wants. You understand? There's nothing else because that the outdoors and the yard, no fence, the yard and a grill. The outside of the yard doesn't have a wall or a fence or a grill, which I've told people on this channel, fence your yard, grill your yard, secure your place. Don't have people walking in and out because these are all the things that will happen to you. And don't build on family land, and don't build on and don't live anywhere where it's populated by substandard minded people who are not ambitious, people who are not driven, people who don't believe in God. And believing in God does not mean they say they believe in God. It is your actions that show that you believe in God. Being a good person is not word of mouth, it's by your actions. By the fruits you shall know. So you can't say that somebody is a nice person or somebody is a Christian or somebody is a good person if they're doing wickedness all day, every day. It does not work like that. You understand me? And so when it busts out, so the man go up and wire them. The man denied and said, "Not no go start we take down your wire." Then, sir, you idiot? Oh me, I could set down your wire them and me not own the people them post. I don't have the authority to do that. No one has the authority to do that except this man will decide to do it. So I'm him deny it because him come making it shame. But him lying on, so him not gonna really say it true and them something there. But just the audacity of wanting to provoke someone that you hate so bitterly. But like I said, I've come to find out that he, other than the fact that he hates us, I believe that he hates our drive that we have in life. It's much more than just the house. It's much more than just the wires. It's like the way how we are, the light that within us, the light that is within us. They have spent their lives doing so much evil, and they think it is too late for them to come to Christ. But it is not too late to do good. It's not. But baby, the conscience, the sins, the wickedness is so heavy on them. They tell themselves this. It makes no sense to do better, and sometimes they don't know how to do better because they've been evil for so long. When I think about his behavior and the words that came out of his mouth, 2023, I think it was May 2023, we'll never forget. When I think about how he said, we're going to an opportunity, she's something upon the phone, yeah, and so and so and so, go to the road there. We're still here. And Jamaicans would say, them take for them cuss and tell you, allegedly, people know, people talk, him not have no good reputation outside road, him name not good road, he is known to be an evil bastard. He is known to be a wicked brute. And he will live his life, and if he doesn't change, he will die as such. That will take him straight home because he's wicked. You understand me? Jamaicans said people take freedom because and tell you the words that came out of his mouth described his own personality. So when he said him no want a trouble near me and so and so and so and this and that, he is a trouble. He is the one giving us trouble. He's the one provoking us. He's the one minding our business. He's the one lurking. He's the one obsessed. Listen, I have never but once set foot in that yard, and it was even in the yard. You understand? I was in the beginning before the house was even halfway completed. His aura is evil. His aura is polluted. You understand me? He has a legion of demons on him, and he is the ringleader. And he said so himself when he could no longer hold his composure, when he could no longer hide his wickedness. He admitted to the fact that he was the one who he made the call right in front of us. He said, I'm going to call someone, I'm going to tell someone if I'm going to come out of the house and ReeRee and tay. Because as I say, he want to rent house, he want to move in, he want to take over this, he want to take over that, all manner of evil. When you are going to live somewhere, I understand sometimes it's hard because it was hard for us. That's why we did it. We wanted a roof over our heads. We wanted shelter. We wanted privacy. We wanted peace. Don't be so desperate that you ruin your lives like what we almost did to ourselves. By the grace of God, we have means and ways to bounce back, but it is not easy. I'm telling you, it is a fight, and you cannot give up. We cannot give up, right? And when you have people who are cultured like that, like I said, they have already been through the socialization process. Socialization process meaning they have already developed this learned behavior and adhere to it. So that is what they believe in. In other words, them born wicked, them live wicked, and that's all they know. No one is trying to do better. And so when you go into an environment where people's culture is to be backbiters, talebearers, liars, thieves, hypocrites, grudgeful, if you are not like them, you're not going to be able to be happy and to survive and to thrive. You're not going to be comfortable. You're going to be in misery because they love mischief and misery loves company. And so if you're not playing their game, you're not going to be happy, and that's exactly what happened to us. They have done so much to us, and we overcome it. Like I said, I'm not going to speak about that issue too much, but you have to be careful not to go around people who are going to be your enemies. I believe that if we had just put up a little thatch roof like back in the day and bitch up this and bitch up that and sleep on the floor and that kind of thing, we would have no problems with them. We would live so good with them because they would always have us as substandard and less than them. But the mere fact that we are noticeably younger than them, these people are all senior citizens. They're all elders. They're elderlies. And the mere fact that we are able to be living comfortable and we have a renewed mind within ourselves, we're not rich people. You understand? We're still working. We're just trying to do our best. But that alone makes them go crazy. Made them go crazy because They don't like to see people survive. They don't like to see people, children survive. They don't like anything good. Remember, the enemy comes to kill and destroy. The enemy doesn't like family. He doesn't like love. He doesn't like marriage. He doesn't like friendship. He doesn't like happiness. He doesn't like unity. Anywhere where there is strife, it is the work of the enemy. And so anywhere at all you go in this life and people lie, tailgate, backbite, the enemy is working very hard. He's working insidiously to ruin you and to ruin your peace of mind. And that is what happened to us. The enemy uses these people as pawns. They're nothing but puppets, and I don't know if they're interested in saving their souls, but they're nothing but puppets working at the devil's favor, working at the enemy's favor to do wickedness to people. And so we have to always stay prayed up, and we have to avoid the nonsense. So don't make the mistake that me and my spouse made. Don't go in an environment that is evil. Do your research, ask questions, ask somebody in a community, find out. It don't matter, ask questions. If somebody say him stay so or she stay so, believe. Don't risk it, don't chance it. Don't do it, because it's gonna cost you your peace of mind. It's gonna cost some money as well. Don't do it. Buy one little piece of land, lease and sale, bodos, anything. Want it is yours and it is peaceful. And this brings me to the ending of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell and leave your comments below.